3 years ago, Russia's invasion of Ukraine tore the world apart. Nations picked sides, alliances hardened, and a new Cold War loomed. But by March 2025, that same war is doing the unthinkable, uniting bitter rivals in a fragile, fleeting chorus. China, Europe, Ukraine, the United States, Russia, even Saudi Arabia. Adversaries locked in their own battles now find common ground in a single, urgent refrain. End the war, secure enduring peace, and claim the crown of peacemaker. It's a rare alignment born of exhaustion and opportunism. Europe scrambles to stabilize its east as US aid vanishes under Trump's retreat. Russia, battered but defiant, eyes a deal to lock in gains. Ukraine, bleeding yet resolute, craves survival. Saudi Arabia angles for influence in a reshaped order. And China, bold, unyielding, steps forward, dangling peace talks to a fractured West while tightening its grip on Moscow. The stakes, a world watching who shapes the endgame. In Beijing, Foreign Minister Wang Yi seized the moment in March 2025, pitching China as a steady hand in a chaotic world. With Vladimir Putin slated for a 2025 visit to ink military ties, China's not just brokering peace, it's flexing power, shrugging off US tariffs, and staring down a West desperate for an exit.
Resolving the Ukraine crisis will not be a one-day job. However, no one wins in a conflict, but everyone gains in peace. The negotiation table is where the conflict ends and peace starts.
Wang's words signaled China's play, a peace process it can steer, binding Russia closer while splitting Europe from a Trump-led US that sidelined Ukraine after an Oval Office blowout. It's a unity of convenience, China and Russia versus a West racing to catch up. And Beijing's betting it can outmaneuver them all. Wang doubled down, framing the China-Russia bond as a rock-solid counterweight to Western chaos, untouched by sanctions or US tech curbs, fueling Putin's war machine. With peace talks as the prize, China's lifeline to Moscow could tip the scales, leaving NATO rattled and Europe grasping.
China and Russia have found a path of non-alliance, non-confrontation, and not targeting any third party in developing their relations. It is a pioneering effort in forging a new model of major country relations and set a fine example for relations between neighboring countries. A mature, resilient, and stable China-Russia relationship will not be swayed by any turn of events, nor will it be subject to interference by any third party. It is a constant in a turbulent world, rather than a variable in geopolitical games.
The West smells a catch. China's arming, Russia's Ukraine fight, drones, chips, cash, while preaching peace. Putin's Beijing trip could seal defense pacts, a power move that unites Russia and China in purpose, if not intent, with a US now eyeing peace to disengage and a Europe forced to follow. Saudi Arabia too lurks, quietly vying for a mediation role to boost its clout. Facing US tariffs and tech wars, China's dangling Ukraine peace as a lifeline to Washington and Brussels, a unity born of necessity, not trust. But Wang's unyielding. No trade-offs on trade, no retreat on turf like the South China Sea, where he blasted the Philippines as US puppets in reef clashes.
For every move on the sea by the Philippines, there is a screenplay written by external forces. The show is live-streamed by Western media, and the plot is invariably to smear China. People are no longer interested in watching the same performance again and again. China will continue to safeguard its territorial sovereignty and maritime rights and interests in accordance with law. When managing the situation on Renai Reef and Huangyan Islands, we will also take into account the actual conditions of the humanitarian spirit. But let me make it clear that infringement and provocation will backfire, and those acting as others' chess pieces are bound to be discarded.
Putin's 2025 Beijing visit looms as the linchpin, China's lifeline to Russia, promising defense deals that could lock in their edge. For all the talk of peace, it's a race. China to lead, Russia to cash out, the US to exit, Europe to endure, Ukraine to survive, Saudi Arabia to shine. A war that split the world now unites it, not in harmony, but in a high-stakes scramble for the peacemaker tag.